Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now today we're going to have a look at a hybrid Sudoku puzzle, and this one is combines the two variants of Thermo Sudoku and Sandwich Sudoku. So the last time that we had one of these I called it a picnic Sudoku because it requires thermos and sandwiches, and we'll do the same again I expect today. This one's come in from Alden Martin. Thanks very much, Alden, for sending it to us. Thank you for your kind comments about the channel and how it's inspired you to create a puzzle. So I'm very pleased about that. Now, the rules here, just to recap, for Sandwich Sudoku, numbers outside the grid show the sum of the digits between the 1 and 9 in the relevant row or column. So in this column, for instance, with 4, we've got to have the 4 sandwiched in between the 1 and the 9, because you can't make up a 4 with two numbers that don't include the 1. And the thermos, starting from the bulb, the answer along the digits along these thermometers must increase like a real thermometer. So, and where we've got a kind of fork in the lane, they must keep increasing from here to here to here, and then from there to there, and from there to there to there. So that's fairly clear. We've also got 3 givens. Let's have a go at this puzzle. I've saved it for you in our software, so do feel free to click on the link and have a go. Okay, so there's not a lot of information here, just 3 givens, 9 sandwiches, and 3 thermometers. So but there are some interesting numbers here. 33 means that all the numbers are between 1 and 9 apart from a 2, because 35 is the maximum. 4, as I said, there's a 4 sandwiched between the 1 and 9. With the 2, there's a 2 sandwiched between the 1 and 9. 0 means the 1 and 9 are together. Now, these numbers on the crosses, on the rows, are a bit more ambiguous. But let's start with this longer one. Now this is 6 digits long, this thermometer. So in theory at the moment we could start with, I'm going to use the possibles for the notation in this puzzle. So these are the various possibles. It's got to start as no more than 4, and it can't rise to more than 6 because the numbers must keep increasing. So these are the possibles. This obviously can't be a 3. Now at the end, actually, this is quite interesting. That one can't be a 3 because it's in the same column as a 3. But at the end, this is interesting. This could be a 9 because it's quite important to us to know where the 1s and 9s are for the sandwich clues. So if this was a 9, well, this can't be the 4. 4 would have to be here and 1 would have to be here. So that is possible. However, yes, look at this 29 clue running across here and this 33 clue running down here. Now, as always in Sandwich Sudoku, it quite helps to notate the cells where you couldn't have a 1 or 9. So I'm going to do that in this puzzle. These are all green because they can't be 1 or 9. I'm going to do the same for the numbers in the middle of the thermometers, for what it's worth. So green cells I'm marking can't have a 1 or 9 in. The ones in the center of a 29 can't either, because there can only be 6 outside the 1 and 9. So that's quite, what is quite interesting. I'm going to use a slightly different colour here for some reason. I'm going to mark these as purple. Let's try that. And what I'm marking in purple is little areas in which there must be one of the 1s and 9s, because there has to be 1 in this row in there and 1 in that end, and in the 33 there has to be 1 in the top 2 cells and 1 in the bottom 2 cells. So there must be a 1 or 9 in there. These other cells cannot be 1s or 9s. Now that is quite useful with regard to the possibility of a 9 here, because the 9 has to be right next to a 4, which has to be right next to a 1. This can't be a 1 because it's a green cell. This can't be a 4 because it's 5, 6, 7 or 8. And that means this cannot be a 9 and in fact we can mark it as green, and that means this one is a 1 or a 9 at the end here. That means this one at the far end can't be, because these can't run right up to the end, so that's useful. And now that we've reduced the 9 possibility, we can take out 8, 7, 6 and 5 from there, and 4 from here. That could be useful. So we are reducing now the possibilities. Now, because this is 4 or 5 and this has to be bigger, we can take out we reduced the 3 out of this. Now we can get rid of the 4 from there, and the 5 from there, and the 6 from there, because 4, 5, you need something that's at least 5 to be bigger, something at least 6 there, something at least 7 there. So now we've reduced most of these cells to just 2 possibles, and that might be helpful. What else can we find to look at here? Where can we go next? No sandwich clue in this final column. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Okay, this 4 column. Now, as we've said, there's got to be a run of 149 or 941 in it. Now, for 2 different reasons, that can't be these bottom 3 cells. One is because 4 can't be in the middle. But the other is that we can only have one of the 1 or 9 in this box, because we've already got 1 there. So can't go to there, and there must be 1 in one of those 2 cells, and there must be 1 in one of those 2 cells. We've now got 2 of the 1 or 9 in this box, so these all aren't 1 or 9. One of these is not that one, obviously, because it's a 3. But that's some information. Now, one of these 2 cells here has got to be the 4, but we don't know which one. Let's see what else we could glean from this not very much information Sudoku. Now, could this be a 2? Just as with the 4 is sandwiched between 1 and 9 in its column. In this column, the 2 is sandwiched between 1 and 9. If this was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 9. So that's not a 2. So we can actually put that in as a 1. And that's quite interesting. Now, let's make that purple to show that it is a 1 or 9. This one will be green. These will be green. These will be green. In fact, the fact that this is green already, the fact that this is sandwiched between the 1 and 9 in this row, means this can't be the 9. So the 1, 2, 9 set must run downwards from the 1. Okay, that's nice. So we can colour that purple. So we're getting some good clues here. Let's actually take up with this 9 straight away. Now, 17 between the 9 and the 1 in this row. Well, that can't just be 2 cells, because they can't add up to 17. That would require a 9, and that's not possible. So the 1 is not here, and that's going to be very interesting. In fact, there's got to be 3 cells at least between the 9 and the 1, and that's putting the 1 over here. Ooh, shouldn't have been using that. I should make that purple. And the 1 is there. Now, what does this green cell mean that we've achieved in the column with the 4? It must be the 4. We must have 1 or 9 both above it and below it. And this one becomes green. That's good. So I should maybe have used a 3rd colour to show definite 1s or 9s, but for now, this will do. Now, we've got a 24 in this row here. And we know that there's a 1 or 9 here, so that's not 1 or 9. This one isn't either. How many cells is that? 5. Well, that's the maximum we can have for a 24, so this must be the other of the 1 or 9. Now, the more simple way of seeing that is there are 2 cells outside the 1 and 9 in this row, and they have to add up to 11, so it obviously couldn't just be 1 cell. Now, this 1 or 9 that we've established here is on a bulb, so clearly that's a 1. That has to, it couldn't be a 9 obviously, so that fixes this as a 9, this is a 1. Now look, we've only got one more cell in this box where a 1 or a 9 could be, so it's quite good that we did all the colouring. We can put a 1 in there and a 9 in there. One of these is a 1 and it's obviously not above that 1, so it's there. So we can make that one green as well. In the central row, we've got to add to 13 between the 1 and 9. So it could be just 2, or it could be, it could be 3 and the 9 could be at the end. But could it? Let's see, I don't know if this is going to be ruled out yet, but this row, these increasing numbers along this thermometer, this clearly can't be a 2 because we've got one in the row. So it could be 3, 4, let's go all the way, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7 there, 5, 6, 7, 8 there, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. I do love in this puzzle the way the the 3 sets of rules, ordinary Sudoku rules and sandwich rules and Thermo rules are all interacting. It seems very clever to me. Now, the absolute minimum that these two could be is 5 and 6, which could then go with a 2 there and a 9 here to give the 13. That's clearly possible. But if there isn't, if they're not the minimum, then the 9 would have to be here. These would have to add to 13. They could be 5, 8, or they could be 6, 7. But either way, we can get rid of the 8 possibility there and the 9 possibility here. It's either 5, 6, 5, 8, or 6, 7. So this one can't be a 7 either, actually. Not quite sure how that's going to pan out. Now, we got that 2. We can remove the 2 possibility from here. This one now has to be less than 5 or 6, so it can only be 4 or 5. We can take this one down accordingly. And now look, we've got a 4, 5. This is fabulous. How clever is this? We've got a 4, 5 pair in this central box. So these other 2 cells cannot be 4 or 5. So we can actually fill them in as 3 and 6. That now has to go with the 7, and the 9 has to be here to fulfill this 13 clue. I mean, that really is a thing of beauty in some ways. Let's purple in the 1s and 9s that we've got. And look, this cell is the last one in this central box, so that has to be a 9. Not that that necessarily drives us forward much, but it's good to get these 9s. Now, we've got a 9 here and a 9 here. So the 9 in column 6 has to be in the top box. It has to be one of these 2, and obviously, because of the 0, 9 and 1 have to be next to each other. So these 2 are both purple, they're both 1 and 9. Don't know in which order yet. Those 2 are green for what it's worth. Now, that's good. Now, what about this 33? It's got a 2 on the outside, but this could be 9, or this could be 9, this could be 1, or this could be 1. Yeah, I don't think that's resolved at all yet. 17 here. This has to be higher than 4 or 5, so it could be 5, 7, or 8 at the moment, I think. Now, these 3 have to add to 17. With everything else in the row, 1 and 9, 27, 30, 34. These 2 at the end have to add to 11, and they can't be 9, 2, they can't be 3, 8, they can't be 4, 7. They must be 5 and 6, so this can't be a 5. And these 2, this must be 2, 8, and 7 in this group, but we don't know which order yet. Now, haven't quite finished using the thermometers. We've used almost all the clues from the sandwiches. But this 29, of course. Now outside 29, they add up to 6. It's now 2 cells established. It must be 2 and 4, and this 4 is usefully telling us which way round they are. So 2 there and 1 there, 2 there and 4 there. Okay, that was a surprising find. Now 9, 6, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. These two, the last two left in this central cell, are 8 and 7. We've got a 7 there to tell us which way round they go. We must, given the 7 here and the 7 here, we must have a 7 up here. So it's got to be here. That makes the number above it 8 to keep the thermometer going. 3, 4 in the central row has to be here. It's the last available square or cell. 4, 7, 3, 1, 9. 2 has to be here in this box. It's the last cell that's possible. That finishes off the central row. Sorry about that. 2, 9. One of these is an 8, but I don't know which one yet. 7, 1, 3, 4. Certainly not finished yet. 5, 4, 6, 1. Ah, yeah, that's interesting. This cell, because of what the numbers in the row and these 5 and 6 in the box, must be a 3. And we have a 5 and 6 to complete at the top. Oh, look, we have a 5, 6 pair here as well. So this becomes an 8. This is the other of the 5, 6. We've got a 5, 6 pair in the final column now. 3, 1, 9. One of these is a 4. Not sure which one. But these two are made up of 2, 7 and 8. And our last thermometer bulb must be either 2 or... not sure which way around. Okay, but still don't know whether 2 is going... whether it's going here or here. And I wish I did. Okay, what about the 10 clue, which we haven't really approached? Ah, that's it. Okay, there we go. Both of these are 1 and 9. It's not optional. They're both 1 and 9 because that's a 0. So this cell cannot be a 1 or 9 because we need a 10 distance between this one and wherever else this one is. That's great. So this cell up here is the 1. So we can finish off the 9 and 1 there. Now we know this is a 9. This one is going to be green and is a 2. And that fixes this bulb down there. That's a 7, 8. We've got 4, 2 to fill in there at some point. 3, 7 there. Okay, so now I think the last sandwich clue we need to work on is this 10, as I say, and we've pretty much worked on all the bulbs and sandwiches, so we're almost down to regular Sudoku, but either 3 cells 2, 3 and 5, 7, 6, 4, 9 here. No, 9 can't be there because of the 9 there. So the last 9, or the last one in a cell that we can determine it in this way, is there. In fact, that's going to give us a 9 there. Where's the final 1? That's going to be there. So I could theoretically green everything else so that we're being a bit complete on the color coding. There we go, fully color coded grid. And now just numbers from now, and in fact almost just Sudoku from now, except that we still have to make these two add up to 10. When I say just Sudoku, I mean just regular Sudoku rules from this point. Now 4, 2, 1, 8, 9. So we've got still not quite finished. Where does 2 go in this column? Sorry, in column 6, the only place now is here. 9, 3, 2, 1. I mean, I love that the puzzle's not giving up its secrets easily. It's very clever. 1, 2, 3, 7. One of these is 4. Don't know which one. No, we're not finished yet. Let's see how we are going to finish it. Right. I might now start using corner notation for where a number must be somewhere in the cells in the box. So one of those two is a 2, for instance. 8 in this one is either there or up there. What else? I mean, I was seeing quite a bit of this. 6 must be in one of those two cells. 7, 2. I thought it would have been falling. Oh, right, like that's a 2. So this can't be a 2. So the 2 in this row has to be here. Hopefully that gets us moving a bit. Although possibly it doesn't. That gives us a 2 here. One of those is an 8, but I don't know which one. What a good puzzle this is. Now this is 3 or 6 in there. 4, 4. That could still be a 4. That would make that an 8. Yeah, that's quite possible. Maybe I need to work more on this 10 possibility. It could be 2, 8. The trouble is, I think there are still quite a lot of possibilities there. Could be, oh, it can't be 3, 7, because that would clash with this 3, 7. So it's either 2, 8 or 4, 6. So it's one of those possibilities. If it was 4, 6, we'd have 5, 2 there, 1, 9, no, it's all possible. Ah, but the 6 has to be in one of these two. So it's not 4, 6, right. Wow, so that's 2, 8. Now 8 has to be here. That puts 7 here. This 4, 2 pair is resolved at least. One of these is a 4, but I don't know which one. Ah, frustrating. 8, 2, 4, 6. 3 is either there or there. 2, 8, 1. Let's see what else we can do. Nearly finished now. Oh, one of these two is a 4. Well, that one's not an 8 anymore. One of those two is a 4. One of those two is a 7. One of these two is an 8, and that is useful. Look at that pair to go with that pair. So that takes up the 8s in rows 2 and 3. So the 8, or columns 2 and 3. So the 8 in column 1 has to be at the top there. I keep thinking something's going to blow open. That can't be 7, that can't be 7. 7 must be here. That resolves the 3, 7 pair over here. This one's 5 or 6, and the 3 is at the top. So this isn't the 3. The 3 is here in box 2. This is 5 and 6 there. That one's not 3, so this is 4 and 7 up here. But still don't know which way round. Oh, it's not falling apart, is it? What a brilliant puzzle. I love it. I love it. Now, 8, 9, 3, 2, 1, 7, 4. Don't know about 5 and 6. Still keep thinking these thermos are going to absolutely resolve themselves at some point, and they're not quite doing it. 8, 7, 4, 2, 1, 9. No, just how do we finish this off? 4s, 4s. Have I used all the clues? Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Oh, look at this. I should have been using this ages ago. The two outsides have to add up to 11. Okay, well, there we go. That's how to finish it off. 6 there, 5 there, 6. That disambiguates all our 6 5s and 3 6 pairs. Oh, I can't believe I thought I'd used up all the clues. That's the problem. And I clearly hadn't used up all the clues. So 3 goes here. Because of that 3, we've got a 4 8 pair here. That's 8 and 4 clearly. That makes this one 5 6 4 here, and now it's all working perfectly well, and it was perfectly obvious the whole time. There we go. So what a lovely puzzle. Thanks very much, Alden, for sending this. I mean, don't know how long that would have taken you to make. It's really clever. I like it a lot. We've got 5, 7 to put in there. This one is a 5 to complete the column, 6 here, 3 there, and finally 6 and 5. Now this time I am going to check for what it's worth. Our check obviously doesn't check the thermos and the sandwich clues, but there we go. What a beautiful puzzle. I hope you've enjoyed doing that. It's certainly been fun for me, and hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Do remember to subscribe, see if you are interested in our extra content on Patreon, if you can pay for that, and that helps support the channel, and we're always very grateful. And otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.